So there are so many reasons why Black women will not date white men even though they are interested in them. Well, today we are going to be giving you 5 good reasons why Black women would just not date white men. So I am going to ask my white husband his perspective on these reasons. And the first reason I have is sexual compatibility. You need to be compatible with someone sexually if you are going to be with them. It's so important. So I personally believe a lot of Black women think white men do not measure up when it comes to sex, even though I do not agree in a lot of ways, but I'm just one person. Hey, who am I?
You're someone married to a white guy.
I'm someone married to a white man. And to me,
your opinion matters.
My opinion matters. And to me, it is wonderful. This conversation is so interesting. But I want to ask you what your thought is on this particular subject.
Well, of course, we've all heard the stereotype, but honestly, my opinion on this matter is simply that it really isn't that cut and dry as far as a race issue.
Yeah.
Not every white man is going to be disappointing, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
And not every Black man is going to be like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. I think that really it's all just a matter of the individual.
Yeah.
So like if you have a connection, if you have a great connection, then the passion will be more intense in the bedroom anyway. And one other thing I might mention real quick here is that my wife and I are Christians, and so we waited until we were married to have sex.
Yeah.
So actually, it's not like we test drove anything.
No, you don't.
And a lot of people in the dating world, they're thinking, when they're thinking along these lines, they're thinking about test driving it first to make sure you like it before you buy
Dangerous
it.
ground.
Yeah, test before you buy. But as Christians, see, you don't really know specifically some of these things necessarily.
Yeah.
But again, it's not that big of a deal if everything else is fireworks.
Yes. So another reason why I feel Black women will not date white men is because they feel as though white men are not ready for a serious relationship with a Black woman. They feel like the white men just want to take them to bed and not want to commit or marry them. So I'm going to ask you again what your thoughts are on that.
My thought on that should be pretty obvious since I married a Black woman and I was ready to commit to her so fast. It was astonishing. I mean, we were married within 4 months or so, give or take.
Yeah.
And we had the entire United States separating us when we first met. So I would also say again that you can't really generalize. It's about the individual. How does the individual really feel? Because some white men, sure, some white men are not going to want to commit to a Black woman in a marriage sense, and maybe all they really are interested in is a casual fling. And since you probably want to avoid that, you can avoid those types of white guys.
Yeah.
But there are white men out there, I'm proof positive of that, who genuinely want to enter into a lifelong commitment with a Black woman, and it would be the joy of their heart if they ever had that opportunity. And a lot of our subscribers will comment on our videos and say, when you know, you know.
Yes.
They just say that a lot, and that's really the case.
Yes.
Not everybody is for you, but when you find that special person, sometimes you just know, and that's the way it was for us.
Yeah. And you don't have to know somebody for 10 years for them to decide they want to marry you. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, sometimes 10 days is enough.
Yeah, don't waste your time, seriously. And be careful at the same time, do your research and stuff and study the person.
Sure.
But for that long, oh my goodness, you are just wasting your time. So let's go to the next reason. Fear of others' opinion. Boy, oh boy, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
When I got together with Ted, I was in a place where I was so worried what other people would say. I'm like, what are they going to say? I'm in a community full of Black people. Are they going to say that, why are you with this white man amongst all these Black people around us? Why did you decide to go with this person? Why are you not with someone of your own race? I had all these thoughts going through my mind. But how do you feel about that when it comes to people's opinions?
Yeah, well, this one actually works both ways. We did another video about why white guys are afraid to approach Black women and enter into a relationship with them. And this was one of those things where they're worried about the opinions of others, whether that be a peer group, their families, or just society in general. Because we all know that the tensions between the races, particularly in the United States and right now, are kind of intense. And so it's something that you think about. But I think that each and every one of us have spent too much time worrying about what other people think and doing things to please them, which you just can't live your life that way.
No, you cannot. And I had to learn that.
Yeah.
I had to learn that I couldn't please everybody.
Yeah.
You know, even if I had decided, okay, I want to marry a black person, they would have talked. If I marry a white person, they would talk.
Right.
You know, so I decided, you know what? Let me just do what was best for me. And I did exactly. And today I'm happy because I chose to do what is best for me. So if you keep worrying about what somebody will say, you know, we are supposed to respect and honor our families, our parents, we honor them. But a lot of times, some of those relationships can be toxic because they have a hold on our lives.
Because essentially, I could put it this way. Would I, for the opinions of others, divorce myself from my wife? Or if I could look into the future before we ever met and see what we could have together, knowing that, say, friends and society would rather I didn't do that. Would I choose to go with what they wanted and sacrifice everything that we have together, the happiness that we have, the joy that we have, this wonderful marriage, our beautiful baby Proverbs, everything and everything else that God still has for us in this marriage that He sanctified? You cannot, even for one instant, consider living your life for somebody else and sacrificing that level of happiness.
And it's rather unfortunate because so many of us are living our lives for people and
you like don't know what you're missing.
You don't know what you're missing. Like I said, I was one of those people waiting to be told, okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And so for the longest I was stuck and I was just so miserable. Oh my goodness. So I think another reason why black women will not date white men is the fear of being understood. When it comes to our hair, when it comes to our nails, when it comes to our cultures, when it comes to the things that we do, how we speak, a lot of things that we are all about. I feel like a lot of times black women think white men will not understand. And that's one of my fears when I got with Ted. I was like, is he going to understand that I can change my hair multiple times within a day? You didn't know that wigs existed. Did you know wigs were a thing when we got together?
I did, but I would say that most white men, I will admit, most white men actually don't realize what's going on with black hair. They really don't. They think that when they watch TV and there's a black woman on television and she's got extensions or, you know, a weave or a wig, they don't really know what they're looking at. They just think it's her hair.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is her natural hair.
Yeah, we do have a lot of hair.
Yeah, but my point is they don't know the difference.
Yeah.
So that would be shocking to them. Me though, I've been in love with black women for so long that I actually knew about the hair thing. So that wasn't a shock to me. But I think
you were surprised a little bit when I had changed one of my hairs, and because I saw the look on your face, but you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But I did see the look on your face, which was good.
I still have had a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I would have to say about this particular topic as a white guy is I will always have things to learn about my black wife.
Yeah.
Especially about the black experience,
which
just being a black woman. Because first of all, I'm never going to be a woman and I'm never going to be black. So I'm never really going to be able to fully understand what her life experience is. And perhaps you could say the same thing from her point of view about me as a white guy. So I'm open though, and excited and interested to learn all that I can about all of those things, about her family traditions, about her hair, about her experience as a black woman, the racism that she's experienced, some of the struggles that black people have gone through in terms of history, in terms of what our society is dealing with right now, in terms of some of the police brutality that has happened to black people and all these kinds of things that have just amped up. A lot of people look around and they have an opinion. Everybody's got to have an opinion, and most of them are uninformed.
Yeah.
But because I'm married to a black woman, I am able to get the correct interpretation, and I'm open and willing and learning every day about it.
And that's one of the things I love about you, being open to constantly learning. You know, anytime I'm feeling a certain way, when there is something going on the news, when it comes to my people, and I'm feeling very sad about it, and I come to you and I'm expressing my feelings, you don't just shut them down. You listen, you know, and you sympathize with me and you go through the experience with me. And that is so important when you are married to somebody. that is of a different race, they need to be able to understand the pain that you are going through.
Yeah.
You need to be with somebody that is open
Yeah.
to understanding your struggles, that is open to going through the experience with you, even though what they encounter might be different from what you encounter. You need to have someone that is open-minded enough to not reject your views, to not reject your opinions, to not reject your feelings. It's so important. I needed to be with somebody that understood those things. I didn't just want to be with somebody that when he saw what my people were going through, be like, oh no, this is that and this is that. No.
Yeah.
I wanted to be with someone that will have understanding and will be open to feeling what I am feeling.
Yeah, again, this is going to be an individual thing. Just because one white guy may be this way doesn't mean that, clearly we know there are other white men who are not that way and who are just downright closed-minded and racist. So you just have to make sure that you're on the same page with whoever you're thinking about getting involved with romantically.
Exactly. The very last reason why I believe that some Black women will not date white men is because of the pain of the past. When it comes to the pain we experience, the pain our ancestors experienced during the time of slavery, and we know very well that that pain was caused by some white people, and so there is a little bit of sensitivity there when it comes to that, especially when you feel like, okay, I'm going to go be with somebody whose ancestors perhaps maltreated my great grandmother, and that guilt is there. How would she feel if she was alive with me being with that person? First of all, you need to ask yourself, the person I'm with, is he the one who committed those atrocities? No, he's not. His ancestors committed those atrocities, perhaps, or perhaps not. The main thing, though, is, does this person believe that slavery should have existed? That is the question you ask yourself. Is this person racist? If that person is racist, then my sister, run. But if the person is not, and the person actually is a good person from deep down within, that there is nothing that you should worry about, because at the end of the day, our ancestors did go through what they went through. We mourned, we cried, and that was a terrible thing that should have never existed, but it did happen. We moved through forgiveness, we let go of the hurt, and we become better from there. We show that we can become one people. We show that forgiveness exists. We show that we can live in unity and build a nation of people full of love, kindness, and just people who just genuinely care for each other. So we can never let go of the history. It's something that existed. But we move on because we believe in hope. We believe in healing, and we believe that we can be one people. That is where I stand when it comes to that issue.
Yeah, well said. And there isn't really a whole lot that I can add to that. Some of where this comes from is, again, this worrying about what other people think. Because if, for instance, a Black woman is going to become romantically involved with a white guy, perhaps she is okay and understands that this particular white man isn't responsible for what happened in the past, but perhaps her sisters, her Black sisters and brothers in the community aren't over that and aren't done healing and dealing with that, and do hold white people directly responsible for what happened. And so consider it something of a betrayal that you would go and be with a white guy. So it definitely makes sense to me that it would be something that they would be worried about. But from my perspective, again, you can't live your life for other people, nor can you live it because of past sins committed by other people. You have to be the one to pave your own way in goodness and love and righteousness. And if you, of course, are in love with a Black woman as a white man, or a white man as a Black woman, then that's all that really should matter. And investing in those kinds of relationships, those genuine relationships, are only going to help heal racial tensions, in my opinion. The more interracial marriages that we have, the more successful love stories that we have between the races, well, the better we're going to be for it, and the more healed our world is going to be because of it.
On that note, I want to thank you all so much for watching today's video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share this video with your family and friends. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.
See you next time.
See you next time.